I've done a lot of complaining on here about my situation, and like seeming like I'm swimming against the current constantly. And I came into a realization yesterday. I'm a jerk, I guess. I'm cool, but I'm a jerk, I guess. I don't know. I definitely like my space. And soon I'm gonna get my space. Next couple of years. And I could truly be by myself and live alone. I feel like at that point I can really get my life together. I definitely want to make this video about me because I think there's a lot of struggles that a lot of my videos are about me anyway. It's my channel. It is what it is. If you watch my content, you put up with my bullshit anyway. My personality, my lack of being able to speak properly, whatever. Anyway, the reason why I always feel held back, I figured it out. I feel like I'm always being held back, and it's so obvious, like always in my face. But I don't, this is part of being a parent. Like, you sacrifice. If you want to do the right things, try to provide your kid for a decent life and do what you're supposed to do because you brought them into this world. You have to make sacrifices. And I was like 35, probably like 7 years ago or whatever. Well, I was doing self-improvement. I've been doing self-improvement, going to the gym and shit since I was like 25 or 27. I don't know. Should have done it when I was younger. But anyway, didn't really have a father figure. Never really had a mentor. I think it's key for boys to have a mentor, someone to look up to. So when I was 35, I had a traumatic experience of breaking up with somebody that I really cared about, and I knew I had to do it because it was just going to be a perpetual cycle, toxic situation for the both of us. Us getting back and forth together, we probably broke up like 20 times. It didn't take away from the fact that I cared about her. And what that did was it gave me a lot of motivation to essentially like a superpower, honestly. And I couldn't really enhance the situation as much as I wanted to because I was a father and I had to like do little increments at a time. Because at that point I was kind of like at rock bottom. And I went from being blue pill to being purple pill, and then the girl in fucking Washington State made me go red pill. When I look back and thinking about like, the girl in Michigan got me liking country music and shit like that. And then after we split up, I still liked country music, and country music's all sappy and fucking fake and not based in reality when it comes to female nature and shit like that. And I was still doing that shit, listening to music like that. And then after after that, what happened in Washington State, where someone that I really cared about again just ghosted me and took advantage of her hypergamy, that red pilled me. That right there was another point in my life where I got that inspiration to really excel, get out of my comfort zones. I don't know if this is true, but I seen a video of Andrew Tate. He looked nerdy, getting told by a girl he wasn't good enough, and then blah blah blah. He is what he is now. And for me, I've had to postpone that progress, and yeah, a lot of it is when you get in that point, you want to prove to that person, if you ever see them again, you want to be in a better situation, a better person, and show them that you weren't defeated by them and what they've lost, even if it only lasts a couple seconds. And you know, it's just something that motivates you. So yes, that person lives rent free in your head, and it's hard, it's not easy when you really care about somebody to just forget about them and detach. Now I can't detach completely to anybody. Oh, who hurt you? Well, if you went through what the fuck I went through, then you'd probably understand. And I understand about females. They probably been through a lot of fucking shit too. Whether it was from their childhood, probably a lot of it's from their childhood. And people just make poor decisions from shitty upbringings, shitty situations. So, you know, I noticed that. Like, I went to the gym yesterday. Like, okay, last year, you know, that toxic job I was at, where they act like they owned me, I decided to make a change, and I purposely took a month off of work. I didn't even look for a job really until like a month later. I worked out like 5 hours a day, pretty much. I was there pretty much every fucking day working out. Well, you know, I've been slacking. Not gonna lie, I've been slacking recently, and I'm trying to get my kid to go. I really didn't have the money to pay for him and my other kid to go to that gym. I mean, I'm paying $80 a month. I didn't have the money to pay $120 a month. I really don't have the money to pay $80 a month, but I do it because I think it's good for us. Some things are worth the sacrifice. Like me quitting that job, I was getting paid more money than I'm getting paid here. I'd be probably getting paid way more than I'm getting paid here. But the stress it took on my life, the quality of life I endured back then compared to now, is night and day. I don't have to drive as far to work. I don't have to work 12 hours of like a swing shift, and one shift at work. Whatever, you know, that's something that I know that I can work hard and work a couple of jobs again when it comes to that point, and I can do it. And I said before that I should be working 2 jobs right now, but I don't. Why don't I work 2 jobs? I still have a 17-year-old at home, and they kids need at least one parent at home. They need a parent at home. Whether it's a man or it's a fucking woman, they need a parent at home all the time. Kids get into trouble because they either rebel, their parents are pushing them too hard. Fuck, my kid didn't go to the gym yesterday, and he's like, next time force me to go to the gym. And for me, I don't force my kids to do shit. And you can say that's a bad parent. I just try to be an example, because I know if I force it on them, they'll end up resenting me and not liking whatever the fuck I'm trying to force them into anyway. Like lifting weights. I'm trying to tell my kid, and he knows he's skinny, and I tell him lift weights. I can't make him do it. And if I make him, he'll end up like hating me and hating it. So I don't want to make him like I own him. Is that bad parenting? I don't know. I think that's something new. It's kind of hippie, trippy type of bullshit. Like, don't force them into anything. You look at Todd Marinovich, and he was a fucking phenomenal quarterback. College, he was a high draft pick with the Raiders, and he ended up flopping, and he ended up like ruining everything because he was forced at a young age to be something that he really didn't even really want to do. Yeah, he excelled, he was good at it, but did he really fucking want to do it? And I'm sure it damaged the relationship with his fucking father, because you could probably say the same thing about Tiger Woods. Michael Jackson probably had a bad relationship with his father, probably resented his ass. I don't want my kids to resent me. I don't want them to live my life. I don't want them to have all the interests I'm into, like forcing them. Yeah, I want them to be able to pick and choose what they want out of life, But I realize, like, I have been held back. And that's what happens when you have kids. You have to sacrifice. My kids have been through some bullshit. Some of my bullshit. I'm not gonna lie. The moving around and the back and forth, emotional damage it probably caused with that relationship with that woman in Michigan. I'm pretty sure that really they fucking hate her. So that really says some things right there. And I tried to force that situation. And I ignored how they would feel at that time, and I've apologized, and I think that whether they forgive me, whether that fixes any emotional damage that may have caused from moving around, from not being by their mom, I'll take responsibility. Me and her got a divorce. I'm gonna take responsibility. I didn't know anything back then. I didn't know shit. If I knew what I knew now, I would be in a different spot. They might not even be here. If I knew then what I know now, they probably wouldn't even be here anyway. But I told them, they helped me mature. They helped me grow up too. I had to. Because I didn't want to be a deadbeat dad. I didn't want them to go through basically not having a good father figure like I did. No hate on my dad. He lived far away. This situation was complicated with my parents. If he could, if he when I was little, he was there all the time he could be. Then we moved away, and what is he supposed to do? No hate on my mom. It's just a complicated situation. And I don't resent them for that. You know, it is what it is. But it did affect me. It did affect me. It did affect me big time. And I think that a lot of the advantage of Gen Z and Gen Alpha coming up have over other generations is just the fucking knowledge of all these social experiments that we've been going through. On the internet. You know, the internet's bad. Well, there's a lot of information on the internet. Some of it's bad, some of it's good. There's a lot of good information. But for me, I hope I can regain and not be comfortable, because when you have kids, you have to have like a level of comfort. You have to. It's really hard to maintain a diet when you got kids that don't like different things for food, and you have to have different foods and blah blah blah. Yes, I control the situation. Again, it's a lot on my plate, and I really just don't want to deal with shit, man. If I can't work my ass off, it's not easy. It's not easy working a full-time job and then coming home and being a fucking, trying to be like a fucking mother figure. It's not fucking easy. I'm not in there acting like a little bitch, but I mean, the mom is very important. The mom's very important. What the mom brings comfort. The mom brings, like, you come in the house, she's cooking a fucking pie or something. The smell of warmth, good smells they bring. Make the environment better if she's a good woman. So like this year, you know, I got rid of all my Christmas stuff, and it's just me and my 17-year-old son. Like, you know, I don't need to buy them presents anymore. I don't really need to decorate. I never decorated really for Halloween or nothing like that. I'm not gonna fucking decorate. If you know, when they were little kids, that was, you know, I did. Now it's like whatever. I just don't see a point. Because, man, we don't care about that shit. We don't care about that. And I think that I'll have the drive to work in multiple jobs and go work out when it's just me, and become the man I'm supposed to become. I think that's a lot of my frustration in life. You know, when I come in here and complain about things, and little things fucking irritate me, and I complain about the littlest fucking shit, when I really shouldn't be complaining about shit. I'm just frustrated in my situation, that's all. I've taken on a lot of responsibility. You know, somebody that lived life in my shoes, they probably feel the same way. Some people, you know, I want to say this too, you know, like, if you're listening to these gurus that are like, and you're a creative person, you have to understand that these guys that are like Tate, they're built differently. Like, they love business, they love fucking working. Like, that's their whole purpose. They're not into creating fucking art. When you're an artist, you kind of have like a soft side. You need to have leisure to be able to fucking create. You can't always be fucking hustling. These guys that are fucking hustling all the time, you have to understand they're hustling all the time because they have no creative ability. That's just their skill set. you need to have, like a philosopher, you need to have time to fucking think. You need to have time to let ideas pop in your head. And if you're constantly just fucking busting your ass all the fucking time, it's hard to be creative. If you're sitting here thinking about fucking finances all the time or fucking all this and that, it limits your creativity. It takes away some of your energy to create shit. So, like, if you're a creative person and you're struggling with building yourself up to be like financially like the greatest man there is, understand that it's because you're built different than these guys, and they're gonna excel better than you in business and shit like that probably. Just understand you'll get your time, because creativity is gonna be hard to come by in the future. I gotta get in.